Hello, welcome back. Here today, it is Slipstream Racing League Season 5 Round 2 I think it is, and it's the Saudi Arabia GP. You are here with me. I've just set up a new mic, so that's probably why my quality is a bit better or worse, but hopefully it'll be a good race. I'm just experimenting at the moment over the mic gain and therefore total audio. That produces a lot of sound. Well, yeah, it's now qualifying time. Let's get into it. So, just some background into this event while we wait. That's if it lets me on Discord. But yeah. So, Saudi Arabia, round 2 of this season. Some fast facts for you. Probably not presented in the quickest way possible as I'm rambling on instead of pitching them. But 27 corners. It's a high-speed performance course setup with a low traction profile, medium grip profile, and low braking profile. The tire degradation tends to be medium to high as a whole. The toughest corners turn 10, with a historical probability of at least 67% for either safety car or VSC. 67% for VSC, 100% chance of a safety car here. Average pit stop time is 20 seconds. The most recent winner here is Hazaro, who is not in the lobby. And then also, for the elite here, it's Kaname, who's in the Alpine. So we are really set up for an interesting race. Kaname, he missed out on win last time out in the elite division, and then also missed out in the main tier, which is being commentated here today as M. Eunice heads out on track. Just currently posting these streams. And now we can focus up and set it up the way I like. So yeah, there is, I want to say it's Crazy Rare too though, who is furthest round the lap. Yes it is. But yeah, big question for the fans: who is your pole man? I personally think pole will be going to Kaname. He's proven in the history of this league that he is more than capable of success here at Jeddah. But the big question is, will he? Or will he miss out? Cartoffee has just joined session. In comes Crazy Riatudo as Cepho. He starts his lap with a Sauber just in the background of Allier. And before you start putting on the Allier theme song, no, not him. But anyways, Serapho through sector 1 as we go. Just chucking it right, left, again, left, right. Get right up against the curb there. And it's a very technical circuit, proven there as he almost loses it over the curb. But he's purple sector 1 as there's yellows for Ali, who has just got back underway as the Ferrari of Leo joins the session. Both Ferraris seem to be having tech issues at the moment with this event. As there's invalidation for Cepho. Marco, he's on his lap, he's invalidated. What about his McLaren teammate Ali Hader? He's currently setting a valid run. DRS wide open, gets a bit of a toe off the Haas, and now chucks it through the final corner. Feels really sluggish. Probably because I've been doing a lot of F1 manager stuff over the past few weeks. But it's a 29-3 to kickstart this session. Unfortunately for Kick Sauber, they can't do the same 6 tenths off with Eunice. But Lex, he's gone to the top in the Mercedes. How is Rising Star doing? He's heading up to the line. And it's the new fastest, 27.9 here in Jeddah. Mikal in third. Kaname, he's currently jostling through turn 2 on a run of his own. Will the Alpine be able to do much? Who knows? As this really just proves the strength of that driver. He's drifting in and out of each corner. But anyways, he's purple through sector 1 of 32.1. Very, very representable of a possible 27. As Crossfire does strike onto the top. He's gone quickest with a 27.6 so far. What about Kaname though? He's currently chucking the car through that middle sector as we speak. Now DRS is in play for the Alpine. Can he possibly do something with it? I hope so. He's setting a very good lap. Middle sector on par with Rising Star. Maybe a bit quicker. DRS now in use. He's caught up behind the Mercedes. A little toe though into the final corner as that Mercedes also starts a fly of his own by the look of it. Kaname now just following him all the way up to the line. What will it be? It's a 27.9 on par with Rising Star. As Kartoffee, he's going through the final sector now. Will he be able to keep it all clean, or will he make a subtle error, which will see him still P11? But no, he's made it out the final corner all fine. Now it's just get as tight to that white line as possible while staying in track limits. It's a 29.0. It's 8th quickest, but 1.4 seconds off striking a place above Crossfire. As Leopolda, he's on a run in at the end of the middle sector. He's about 1.2 off Kaname. Could pose some questions in the longevity of it. What will he do though? A little yawn from me, my bad. But up to the line, it's going to be 8th quickest for the Ferrari, ever so slightly quicker than his Ferrari teammate. Whereas now we look at Crazy Retudo, who's invalidated his run. Marco currently being valid through sector 1, but not much of his laps being done as of yet, as he's only going through turn 4, 5, now 6, 7, just a little snake, 8, 9, 10, and then 11, flat out up to turn 12. Purple sector 1 is a 32.1, little lock up by the McLaren, but he keeps it nice and narrow, which allows him to just push up. As now into about turn 14 here, chucks it and then chucks it the other way for 15, grazes against the wall on the exit, really showing how much he is pushing that McLaren. Even though it may not appear that way, he is chucking it everywhere. It's a 1 minute point 6 at the end of the middle, again on par with Kaname and Rising Star. What can he do though? He's going under the Aramco branded that walkover bridge. That's what it's called, not a walkover. But Marco up to the line now. That's a lovely sight, as he's gone second fastest, only 2 tenths off Crossfire. Micromash just invalidates it, and we tuned in at the wrong time possible for him. Crazy Rare 2 though, 1 minute 1.2 at the end of the middle sector. Looks like he'll be lapping around P6, around Oggy or Lex. Oggy had to retire last week due to being on Xbox. Surprised he's been allowed to race and given the get-go here today. But Rare 2 though up to the line. What will it be for Aston Martin as he goes 9th? Big question. What about his teammate? He's still yet to do a lap. Could it be similar pace, or will it be quicker for his teammate when he does eventually come out on track and decide to do a lap? As Alexa's round in a very awkward place. He's obviously gone a bit too much curb on the exit of turn 10 into turn 11. He's clipped the wall because there's damage, which looks like it's Ineos branded. So that's that. Crazy Rare 2 though. Now P10. Who can I tune on with is my personal question. Kaname. Let's go with the Alpine. He's going through Sector 1 now on a new flyer. Is he going to get closer to Crossfire Strikes? Maybe not, now he's extended his pole margin. But what can Kaname do in Sector 1? He has found 2 tenths improvement. That's enough to put him up to P2 if he stays bang on even with his previous laps for the rest of the run. As Micromash has gone out on his outlap, he's one of the 2 who hasn't done a lap. He's the teammate of this speed demon in pink, blue and black. But is he going to match similar paces, or who knows? Anyways, Kaname to the end of the middle sector. He's found about 4 tenths improvement. It's going to put him extremely close behind Crossfire. Is there going to be shots thrown at Crossfire from the Alpine ballpark? Who knows? Through the final corner, one thing we do know is he will be able to complete a valid lap unless he somehow mucks it up here and invalidates by going a bit too aggressive. But it will be fastest of the session by only 8 thousandths of a second. For those who can't do math, 0.008 seconds. About a blink of an eye. So that's how small the margins are. Just got a mass set of notifications. Anyways, let's just ignore them for now. Micromash going through Sector 1 on his main lap. DJ Death Dragon still in the pits, however. Not looking too reassuring for the Astons. As Micromash, he's on a good sector lap 1. Good lap incoming, possibly. He's only about a tenth off his teammate. So could it be 2 Alpines at the foreground here in Jeddah? If so, I think this is a race almost everyone would love to watch. As Yellow's in Sector 2 for a solo going McLaren I want to say it's Ali Hayes. He's the only McLaren on track, ironically. But now Micro Mash running up to the final corner, rear wing wide open, trying to get as much aerodynamic assistance as possible. But now up to the line. He doesn't go fully narrow, probably setting up for a double run, which is interesting to see. Micro Mash, he's gone about 9/10 off his own teammate. Not the smallest margin, but also not the biggest, which I've seen. I've seen bigger. A good example is, well, if you remember my Formula Creator stream, a second pole margin. Yeah, that's slightly larger. But currently the field spread at the moment, just shy of 3 seconds. But DJ Death Dragon is making his way around the circuit now. There he is, running up to the line. He's taking a fairly wide line, really trying to make it more of a straight line into turn 1, make it easier, less mileage for that Aston Martin to do, meaning he's naturally a step closer to the finish line. But keeps it valid through the first 2 corners. This is the real test. So many drivers struggle here just because it's a very sharp right-hander. But the most difficult corner is turn 10, which he now comes up to. It's that little kink onto the curb and tries to floor it. And it's purple sector 1. To be fair, every first sector for a driver is purple, because the game is just updating itself to make sure they all match up. But irrespective of that, it's a really good first sector. If he can do about a 1 minute point 3 at the end of the middle, he's on to beat Konami. What will it be though? It's a minute point 7. He's looking to be in the top 5 if he continues this pace, or at least around Micro Mash, which could be very interesting for the race, a very interesting dynamic proven from history of this league. But who knows? Well, I say who knows too many times. What I'm going to do next stream is do a 10 quid giveaway. If I say who knows more than 5 times, yeah, I'll give it to a viewer. But anyways, who knows? Yeah, that was me just trying to take the piss there. But DJ Death Dragon up to P5. As Rising Star finding 4 tenths improvements, better way to put it, at the end of his first sector. At the end of the second, it's still about 3.5 tenths. Could he be rising up to the foreground? He made his debut only a week ago in Bahrain, and he was on pole there. Will he be pole here again? Make it 2-2 for the Red Bull, who is really rising up the ranks through the final corner. Now just foot to the floor, get as close to that white line as possible, and I'd go for another lap on top of it. He's only gone 3rd fastest. He's lost quite a bit in the final sector, so I just keep powering on. But then there is time to make it round and go again. He only has about 6 seconds to lean back though. Konami, however, purple at the end of sector 1, going through the turn 12 hairpin. Nicely does it. Now it's really like the second half of the snake. All my friends call it a sperm, I call it a snake. But yeah, Konami slithering his way around the circuit. As at the end of the middle sector, looks like further improvement. No, he's lost it. He's dropped about 7 tenths in that middle sector. As Mikau is your first retiree of the event. He's out with only 30 or so seconds left of quali. So he's already accepted defeat. He fast as fuck is in Red Bull. He's going through the final sector now, so it's a good chance to watch both Konami and He Fast as Fuck go for it. Just as it's easy, I'll be calling him a fast stuff. I'm sorry, but yeah, Konami on a run. Staff also on the run. You see the Red Bull just in the background. You can even go to, as Konami's gone invalid, he's jumped over the curb and then sliding his way through turn 2. Apart from that, let's go back to the Red Bull, who's behind the, what's his name, Alpine. As you can adjust your camera. Crossfire goes fastest by 3 tenths. Staff has invalidated his run. Rising Star also on a flyer. He's invalidated his. Marco's only gone 3rd. DJ Death Dragon ever so slightly losing time. Only 11 thousandths of a second down on his 28.005. Could he possibly make it? No. He's ditched and accepted defeat. What about Micromash? He's finding 2 tenths, but that's invalid. Same as Kartov. As Lex only goes 9th quickest. Leo, he's just down. He's gonna have to find a very marginal gain to come P9 and the second of the 2 Ferraris. He doesn't find that gain, so the 2 Ferraris split by a Mercedes of Lex. Crazy Rare Tudo and Cepho both finished. Hefasta also invalid. Mikal 14th. Ali Haider, he's finished his session. As M Eunice will not be flipping the M and turning into a W. He's only 16th. And then Ali A. Well, Ali A is known for growth. This Ali A can't say the same. He hasn't been able to go up from P17. He's going to qualify 17th of 17 runners. What a shame. But that's just some things you have to deal with. It's going to be a difficult race for the 2 Saubers. Whereas on the other hand, a fairly good one for the front runners, as it could be close. And as far as I'm aware, Crossfire Strikes also making his debut. So we've seen 2 debutant pole positions in this season already, and we're only 2 races in. High potential. But dominant qualifying by Crossfire. 3 tenths up on Konami. A further 2 tenths up on Marco, who's also a fairly big name here. Then Rising Star 6 tenths down. DJ Death Dragon 8 tenths. And then almost a second quicker than his teammate. We have been told the official time to ready up for the main race, and it's 29 past. Well, for those in chat, who do you think will win here today in Jeddah? I personally think it's gonna be Crossfire. We didn't see the rookie win on debut last time out, whereas he got pole. But last time a Williams got pole on a esports-esque league, he went on to win. And that was Ismail Fassi in the real life esports. Also for Williams, if you can't tell, I am slowly but surely connecting the dots for you lot. I think it's going to be Crossfire. That's my main message. And then I think Kaname's going to get another podium. He ain't a stranger to him, especially in this league. And then I think my 3rd place is going to have to be Marco. I think it's going to be a fairly dull race in terms of position changes from lights out to the line. But who knows, damage is also on, so someone could cause a safety car if they go out for a little trip. I'm blind, so I can't actually read the time on my PC monitor. It's blurred, but it looks like 29. But then there's second guesses where it could actually be 28. And that's just how blind I am. But anyways, we'll just wait till someone readies up, and then we'll get some hope. So yeah. You know what? A good idea is my phone. And yes, it's 29. I don't know how long it's been 29 for, so could literally have just ticked past. But it doesn't help how my monitor clock still looks like it's at 29. So I'm guessing it's been 29 for at least 20 seconds. But yeah. Just waiting for the first to ready up now. Now let's get comfortable. The show's about to begin. Switch your phones. Actually, no. I'm not going to do what the Odeon presenter says and tell you to switch your phones off, because you're probably watching it on your phone. But anyway, it's 5 red lights and away we go here in Bahrain. Not Bahrain, Jeddah, my bad. I've had one or two. But yeah, Konami will lead out of turn 1. So many on softs. There's a Ferrari going round of kart off as the battles all unravel behind. DJ Death Dragon goes off as he overtakes Marco, and now the snake forms. The serpent really proving to be prevalent here, as off goes Ogix as he overtakes DJ Death Dragon. Surely he's going to have to return that place, but he doesn't. He's gone wide, and now he has only to re-overtake. Very sneaky of the Williams. But irrespective of that, the man on pole, he's gone down a place into turn 1, and now that's where it could really go into Konami's favour, because he can go at his own pace. He can overheat their tyres from in front, and he could easily just cruise to the pit stops without any tyre problems. Whereas the likes of Crossfire Strikes, Rising Star, Marco, they're all in a fairly dangerous bit of land, as shots will be fired, especially down this straight, as now Crossfire will get DRS from this lap onwards. Didn't that time round as it was disabled, but Konami will be the fastest man at the end of lap 1, unironically because he was the first man to complete it. But yeah, Konami anyways into turn 3, as there's Eunice in the pits. His race is going even more dreadfully than his qualifying. He was at least 16th in quali. He's 17th now in the race, probably after some contact with his teammates, as he's quite far off the pecking order itself, meaning the Saubers really in their own little dreamland out there. Eunice about half a lap down now, whereas Allier a few seconds off the closest car to him. But anyways, now DRS is in play for the top 4. To be fair, DJ Death Dragon ever so slightly in DRS range of Marco. So, I'll be honest, that's in play for whole of top 7. Then 9th down to 15th, as Leo just outside of DRS range from Micro Mash. And there's your first overtake, apart from when it was lights out, as Crossfire returns to the top of the pecking order. Leo drops down a place, drops 2 places, as there's yellow flags for, I want to say it was Ali Hayden, Mikau. But anyways, into turn 1, Lex down the inside, Ogix 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. We're only 3 laps in, so that's a second a lap so far, if we continue that trend. He's going to have 25 seconds at the end of this race for track limits. But irrespective of that, we have two battles now forming. As Ogix, another 3 seconds for corner cutting. Maybe we will get double that a lap. So 50 seconds at the end of the race. I'm just throwing numbers at you for the sake of it now, as that's quite literally how this race has unravelled, to a point where numbers is the main factor. Because DRS, it's just going to be relentless swapping of places. Someone's going to have to step out of line with their strategy, go to the hards a lap earlier, gain that track position, and then hopefully build a gap. If they can't do that, then boy oh boy, we could be stuck for a while in this constant position swapping, as if it's the Olympic cycling competitions, where the leader wants to go offline, drop back a bit, cool himself down, and then go back for a push. That's probably how it's going to be, as Marco moves up into the podium positions, purple final sector for the McLaren, as he moves up against Rising Star. But it's more like Falling Star, as he's falling down the pecking order. But Crossfire back up into the lead. Kaname now P2 again. He's going to get a lovely bit of that dirty air for the first sector. A lot of corners, a lot of like distinct same line-esque driving. So yeah, dirty air is going to be like his worst enemy in this race. But anyways, out of all the drivers on this grid who won here last season, it was Kaname. He's in second at the moment. I think he could still win it, but I personally think it would be Crossfires, as I said pre-race. As Marco getting very close to Kaname, probably burning some battery just to get that tiny bit more closer so he can get a really good launch out of this slingshot-esque section and onto the final DRS zone of the actual lap. But he stays behind, he doesn't go for it. You can see him slightly going offline, A, to cool tyres, B, to have a little peep at moving up into P2. But he will not do so this time round, as now run up to turn 1. Kaname may have to defend against Marco. Marco, he's very close to going alongside, as DJ Death Dragon sits in P5 after having a look at Rising Star. See if that star will fall down another place, as Ogix hanging on into this top 7 with Micro Rash. But in the end of it, it's not going to look promising, because he does have 6 seconds, whereas no one else has even hit 3 as of now. Meaning he really ain't in the best of places for it. Well, yeah. This race has got high potential still. We're only a fifth of the way in. Think about that. As carts off. Well, there's a safety car. It's Ogix who's hit the wall. That's what's happened. I was trying to comprehend for a second. But there he is. The tyre's gone. And that's him out of the session. It's the first safety car of the race. Is anyone going to be ballsy enough, is the main question, to go onto the softs? Or maybe even the hards, as everyone's on the mediums. Apart from Eunice, who pitted on lap 1. In comes Crossfire Strikes. In comes Kaname. In comes Marco. In comes Rising Star. Same as DJ Death Dragon and Micro Mash. Lex follows suit. So does Crazy Retudo. Fastaff. Sofo. But then Leo. Looks like he's the only man to stay out. Allier could join him. But no, he will tune into the pit. This is where the order could really get messed up, because those closer to the pit entry will get held up longer, especially in those big, like, queues. But despite that, Crossfire Strike still leads in terms of when everyone has pitted. Then it will be Kaname, then Marco, Rising Star, DJ Death Dragon, so the top 5 hasn't changed. Micromash stays P7 in the sense of everyone's pitted. But then behind them, that's where it's got a bit messy. Hephaestus, Cepho, Ali Hader, Crazy Rare Tudor and Lex have all jostled round a bit, rearranged based off pit box positions. As Eunice, he's now going through turn 1 as these lot go through turn 12. As the sooner Eunice catches this pack, the sooner they can all unite and go racing once more. Anyways, for those in chat, any comments so far about this event? It's been fairly straightforward, I'd say, in the sense that Konami, that position change into T1, the pole sitter then retakes the lead, and then it's kind of sat there and became a DRS train, as Crossfire just able to get enough exit pace in order to power on. Well, we still wait another lap, as in comes Leo. He surely knows that pitting now does put him at the very back of the pack. Anyways, he is now P16, as you see Eunice moving up, as he is on track, whereas Leo's still in pit lane. So yeah, all I can say is the Saubers have had a net gain this race. They started 16th, 17th, they're now 14th, 15th. As a whole, they've gained 2 places. So yeah, that's the start. But anyways, big question is, are the drivers going to be able to drag it 20 laps on the hard compounder tyres? I personally think so, and I will not be ruling them out. But then, big factor to consider, the fact that this is a medium to high tyre degradation of a race. So, the tyres are going to go quite quickly. I'd say give them 15 of the 23 lap, well, 15 of the 18 laps, and the tyres will be gone. So yeah, safety car lights seem to still be on as the drivers now prepare for a restart, as the lights have gone, as you've left that like tunnel crescent area. Crossfire, he's gonna have to defend from shots being fired in all angles, a bit like what Crossfire means, but yeah, he's gonna have to defend like mad, like a champion, as just turning off UAI. So you can see the restart. There's Crossfire, he runs into turn 1, the whole pack following suit. You see the massive snake behind him. He's already built a DRS gap over Konami. It's all gone wrong for the Alpine on the restart. But now we look down the hill, no one's sent an overtake into the first corner. They've all just decided to keep it clean, all work together and just make one big train together. But what I've noticed is the first splitting of packs have actually came from the Alpines. Konami making it before the line, and then Micromash through turn 1. But then now Leo has got over second to Ali. Cut off over second to Ali Hader. Micromash over second to DJ Death Dragon. And now Koname's back in DRS range. Of course, DRS disabled still for this first lap of the restart. But as of lap 9, they will be able to throw everything at another once again. Meaning we could see some overtakes here as everyone's on the hards. Everyone's on similar tyres. Leo, he'll be one lap better in terms of tyre delta. So the more overtakes are probably going to come from him. But it's very minimal of an improvement. So who knows, we may not see many at all. As Micromash loses the place to Lex into turn 1 and Crazy Rare too though. It's a double whammy for that Alpine. As there is Rare Tudo up into P7 for good. As Zepho sitting in P9. Fastaff, one of the more mediocre drivers, just in his own little fight at the moment with Valley Hader over P10. As looks like Lex has had a moment, as he's now became the front runner in this fight, which was for 10th. Now you can argue it's all like stitched itself up for P6, as Lex is just in DRS range, but now he's ever so slightly dropping out, probably due to the tyre wear now kicking in. But now that's reunited a big battle and made it even bigger than it was before. But one thing to look at Konami, he's burning. He's gonna pull ahead on the inside before braking. He can close the door on Konami. Closing door on Konami makes a lot of sense regarding how there's only one Konami and he's just overtaken for the lead. Closing door on himself would mean putting himself in the wall, but he didn't do that. You know what I meant. He was closing door on Crossfire, who he managed to defend into turn 1. But now powering on into turn 3. Brake, turn in, and then basically chuck your car in for next corner as you're on throttle. It's a very high skill circuit. If you make a singular mistake, you could be in the wall or spinning on one of those high raised curves. That's how difficult this circuit is. So each of these finishers are proving how elite of a driver they are just by finishing. Being able to stay out of the walls here in Jeddah for 25 laps while also trying to fight. Of course, the more elite of the elites are up front in the Champions Division though. We have a separate division for that, ran 4 PM on Sundays, which sadly this week I can't commentate due to work. But despite that, you'll get some personal content instead at about 10 PM UK time. That's a bit of my self-plug. Well, there ain't much overtaking, but Micromash does get a 3-second penalty. Crazy Rare Tudo moves up into P6 based off your position board on left hand side. But there goes Crossfire. He's back up into first. He struck the move in style as he's moved back into the lead here. Lap 11 of 25. Not far at all from halfway stage, as I'm going to grab a water quick. So yeah, of course during the corners, great place to have a drink for myself. Whereas for the drivers they'd be in pits, so if one gets that thirsty driving under the heat of a sim rig at one of the hottest circuits on the calendar, which is Jeddah. But unfortunately the F1 game isn't that realistic that it replicates room temperatures as if you're in the F1 car. So if you're sweating from sim rig, you'd probably want to grab a drink around lap 20 when you pit for softs if you do. If you don't, well, haha, cope with it. But yeah, Crazy Retudo goes off, and Micromash now able to just swoop round the outside before DRS. He's even got DRS to assist him on completing the overtake. He completed a corner beforehand. As Cepho will move up into P7. Lex round the outside. He's just going to follow through as there's contact. Crazy Retudo thought there was a lot more of a gap, but now Hefastaf, Lex, Ali Hader could possibly make it 4 wide, but instead Crazy Retudo will just slot him behind. Hefastaf will be P9. He's fighting with Ali Hader. Will one of them go off the road? This is a very difficult corner to stay wheel to wheel in. And just proven. Hefastaf cuts across, slams the door shut. And now we see Lex moving up into P7 over Cepho. Trying to work out where's the best place to watch. Could it be leaders who aren't really swapping much? It's really only the final corner in which they do swap, and turn 1. Or should we watch the slightly bigger pack? We'll watch this just for the sake of the positioning of Koname. He's very close. And now, he ain't burning this time, but he's got DRS. So look at how much he's gaining on Crossfire. He pulls to the inside. And it's going to be the move done in turn 27 of 27 here. I'm about to sneeze, so excuse me. But yeah, there goes Crossfire. I didn't sneeze in the end, because I knew if I did, I would have missed that overtake. And now Marco, even going back at Koname. Saw Koname was vulnerable, but he won't end up getting past. As Rising Star, he has fully ended his rise, and instead he goes south. The Red Bull placed in the middle of the circuit. He obviously lost the car and went off. It's a safety car. Good opportunity for someone to go onto the mediums and start flying through the field as a very big option. Ali Hader, 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. He's in P10. But, yeah. Rising Star has fallen to the very bottom. And there ain't much lower in which you can get. Well, now we just wait. Into the pits comes the top 4. Obviously, they are going to pick mediums because they know they are the quickest bunch. Micromash follows in. So does Lex, Hefastaf, Sofo, Ali Hader. Whereas Crazy Retudo, he wants to be at the front. Everyone else just slotting into the pits. Ali A, he continues on though, as he's going to jump a big pack. Ali A now 6th in the Sauber. Crazy Retudo will be leading. We didn't see this coming initially. Could he possibly see the race out? As, I'll be honest, more safety cars are inbound. I think we'll get one more based off how we're only lap 14. We're just under the 60% mark of this race. And we've had 2. Roughly 1 every 30% of the race. So I think if we are to have another, expect it around lap 20 for about 2 laps. And that will literally be a question of who will win. But could Crazy Retudo just hang on long enough to maybe seek out a podium? because Aston are in a really good position now. They're leading the pack, and they've got to drive on fresh mediums in the middle of the pack. So Crazy Rare Tudo could actually defend long enough that DJ Death Dragon moves up into second, lets him by, and then possibly keep defending like a lion, as Fernando Alonso would say, in order to see a possible Aston Martin win in Saudi Arabia, which could be a very, very interesting prospect for the championship, as it would be 30 points going to the midfield challengers, who, based off of League's history, tend to fight in the midfield rather than at the foreground. But anyways, there's your safety car, there's your Aston. They look very similar, but they are different because one is a closed wheel and one's an open wheel car. But either way, they're both at the foreground of the pack. And they're both sponsored by Aramco, who sponsor this GP alongside STC. And before you think STC sounds like STD, they are completely different things. And I'm not going to bother explaining why. But yeah, Crazy Rare Tudo anyways, leading the field. Well, any changes on my race winner prediction? No, I still think it'll be Crossfire and then Kaname, then Marco. As Hazara is not partaking this race, we are guaranteed a new championship leader. As long as Kaname comes in the top, I think it's 12. So basically, if he sees it to the line, he should get it. And he should take the championship lead from Hazara. Rising Star, now DNFing, prevents the Red Bull from also advancing up the standings. Ganame, if he comes top 2, he'll be bagging 25 points. If he comes first, he'll be bagging 30, which will reassure the Alpine team that they will be leading at least one of the 2 championships. A safety car confirmed to come in on lap 15, back racing for lap 16. Hello for those who have joined. This is Slipstream Racing League Season 5 Round 2, and we are about to go back underway, so perfect timing if you've just tuned in, because it's about to get heated with an Aston Martin on 9 lap old hards amongst the field of fresh, brand spanking new medium runners. But there's Crazy Rare Tudo. He starts to run, or not, as now he's put the foot to the floor. The pack all behind him. He's going to lead away into turn 1. Crossfire, he's already striked, and he's up into the lead. That's lasted very long for Aston Martin. And Kaname now looking even more aggressive as he's moved up into P2. And now the top 2 can just run away with it for now. Ali A, 6th to 10th in the first 2 corners alone. It's really gone foul for that Sauber. He's just got no pace here, which is a shame, because that strategy of staying out had very high potential, but now it's all turned to shit really. As Crazy Rare Tudo hanging on against Marco. Maybe not now, as he's just breezed up into P3. He might as well just let his teammate pass on this straight and then try and defend Lex, instead of letting his teammate get swallowed up by the Aston Martin. In an attempt of saving his own race, might as well play for the constructors instead of the drivers in his case, because he's only on a downwards trajectory. An even more rapid one than Rising Star, which quickly became a falling star once he DNF'd. As there you go, the Aston Martin swap places. Let's DJ Death Dragon stay involved with this fight for first. big question will he be able to chip his way up the field? DRS now in play from this lap onwards. May help Crazy Rare too though if he can stay within DRS range. But never mind, Lex has moved up through turn 2. And now it's only going to get worse, really. As Micromash is the next car to attack him in a fairly aggressive way, hopefully, as Ali A, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. I think I've now picked up pickups, so sorry. But, yeah, this race, it's worth it. If I end up dying, so be it. You need commentary. Because this is a race no one wants to miss. It's Jeddah. It's literally make or break for championships. For Rising Stars, it's break. Whereas for Kaname's, it's arguably make 'em. As he is very close to moving up into first. Really pushing the Williams round each corner now. Could it be time? He's pulled to the outside. There's the Williams. Now he's gone. And up into P1 goes Konami once again. He was the Elite Division winner here last season. He was the Elite Division champion last season. He's looking to take a step up and win the Champions Division. He's done fastest lap as alongside overtaking for the lead. Crazy Rare Tudo defending a fast staff into turn 1. As Lex moves up, Crazy Rare Tudo goes round. After Micromash makes contact, a fast staff 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. But that's just gone wrong for the Aston Martin. Might as well hang up your boots there and there, as Ali Hayder's on the inside of Kartov, who's gone off the road, but they stay wheel to wheel for a while longer. But never mind, Ali Hayder up into P10. Crossfire now giving Konami the Konami treatment, which we were all taught about last lap, where Konami was just pushing him through the corners. That's what Crossfire is now doing here. Crazy Rare Tudo up into P12 as Micromash suffering pretty heavily for damage. As long as you finish now, you've scored at least 1 point. So even though Micromash may be out the image, it's still worth finishing. Also, who knows, there could be another safety car. It could possibly lift him up the pecking order a bit. As it now looks like Ali A could be moving up a place. Instead he goes down to his own teammate, which didn't really go the way he planned. Crossfire now wheel to wheel with Konami, and up into first he goes. He's striked once again. DJ Death Dragon, he's really not being too much of a Death Dragon. He's more being just that, a dragon, because he ain't really doing much in terms of putting Lex under threat, putting him right near life's edge. So yeah, looks like it will be a 3-horse race here for the win. Konami, Marco, and then Crossfire. For most race has been 4-horse, with DJ Death Dragon sitting in background, along with Rising Star also arguably being in that equation. But now Rising Star, as we all know, rest in peace, you are no longer alive. Probably because you've cracked under pressure from the Death Dragon himself, but who knows. Again, saying who knows too many times is going to get into someone's head quite quickly. But that's really the key message of motorsport. Who knows what's going to happen? Every corner, you're 1 corner closer to your last. And Sefo, he was that 1 corner away from a penalty. He's now got that penalty. But he's in P6. And when that penalty's applied, he should be P7. Because their fast staff will also move down with him, who would drop to P8. But irrespective of that, wheel to wheel in turn 1, Konami around the outside for turn 2, Marco looking very peckish, as he's like, ooh, could I get 2 places, but instead he'll just follow him through. It's lap 20 now of 25. If another safety car is to happen, it has to be this lap. or next lap, otherwise the game tends to deem it too late for a safety car. Who knows, we could even get a red flag here. If we do, then boy oh boy, count me in, cause it's like, who don't want that? Irrespective of that, Leo has left the session once again. The Ferrari now left, so has the Ferrari. Well, that's just great for Ferraris. They've been struggling of connection issues all race long, and it's only getting worse. They're 10th and 11th now, and they've both hit with a disconnect, only about 5 laps away from the end. I personally ain't a fan of their internet, but I'm a big fan of the Ferrari team as a whole, so yeah. Anyways, Marco, crossfire, wheel to wheel. Could it be an opportunity to overtake Ganame? It's 3 wide, back to 2 wide, then 1 by 1. As Crossfire will go from basically 3rd to 1st in one straight. Marco stays 2nd, Kaname goes 1st to 3rd. As Sofo and Ali Haider retire from session, and as I've just said, safety car. Here, there's a McLaren on one wheel. The Haas has gone missing. But anyways, it's another safety car here. Leo has just joined in, great time. Is anyone going to go for softs though? Does anyone deem it too late for softs? Or is it like prime time? We really will have to see based off what Crossfire does. Because if he stays out, I'm pretty sure the rest of the field would want to stay out. But for all we know, one person could go against grain. That one person could be Allier. He seems quite desperate for this safety car. Same as Crazy Rare 2 though. They're on 15 lap old hards. If they jump up through the field, they will be back down to the rear end within a lap. Crossfire, he will go into the pits. Marco will, but Konami will stay out. DJ Death Dragon goes in, so does Alex. Hefastaf, he will come in, so will Mikau. Leo powers on. Kato goes on. Rare 2 in, as I suspected. So yeah, it will be Konami leads, then Leo, then Crossfire, then Kartoffee, then Marco, as Eunice and Allier both come into the pits. So yeah, this has really dictated the dying stages. Has Konami played the right strategy to stay out? If the answer's yes, Leo's going to have to try and defend Crossfire for at least a lap for Konami to pull away. Kartoffee, his job is just to try and finish as hard as possible, defend as hard as possible, in order to stay up the pecking order. Could be a great result for Ferrari, but at the same time it could be a fairly miserable one if they just completely drop down the order. So yeah, safety car will probably be in next lap, giving us enough laps for 2 laps where DRS can be used. But every lap safety car stays out for, it's another lap in which Konami, in which Leo, in which Kartoff can stay ahead. Lights stay on for the safety car. We will be going for one more run. As we speak, we are just waiting for P10, 11 and 12 to catch the back of the track. It's Crazy Rare 2 in the Aston Martin, and then the 2 Saubers, who have been in the back 2 for most of the race. No offence to them, but it's been a really shambolic event. as they are watching, you'd want to stay tuned in for the final 3 laps of this race. Well, yeah, final 3 laps of this race. We are probably going to go underway on lap 24, which offers us 2 laps of racing. 1 lap with DRS, 1 lap pure sparring between the drivers. As you can just see in the background, some cars going offline, heating up tyres, some cars staying in the dirty air to heat their tyres up that way. The dirty air option, probably the less efficient method of heating up tyres. Kaname on the inside, Leo around the outside. Looks like an F1 starting grid formation here for a restart. Instead, we just go single file. Through the rest of the middle sector now. The sooner we can get to the line, the sooner we can get back underway for 2 laps. And the sooner we can find out whether Kaname will replicate an elite division win last season here to a Champions Division win this season. The safety car lights have gone. It's in this lap. Kaname leads the field, whereas usually it's Crossfire Strikes who does so. In 2 of the 3 safety cars we've had this race, it's been a Williams. This time it's an Alpine. Could it be a change of story in terms of finishing order? Or will it be Crossfire who just cruises through them all? Through the final corner, you can see them going back underway. Kaname, he's gonna drop the ball now, but that's probably not the wisest of option, as Crossfire gets a really good bit of traction out of the final corner. But Leo's gone down the inside. It's all or nothing now. Leo round the outside still, he hangs on, but it will be Kaname who leads, really trying to barricade off Crossfire Strikes, put him in a position where Leo could overtake. Both top 2 go off through turn 3. But now it's Crossfire versus Kaname. How quickly can the Williams dispose of the Alpine? Or will the Alpine, who's much more experienced in this league, be able to fend him off? He has for another corner as Marco's moved up. DJ Death Dragon has moved up. Kartov round the outside of Lex, hanging on for dear life. Leo dropping to DJ Death Dragon. It's literally a little... it's a massive scrap, as the Ferraris are going south and all the soft runners are flinging themselves up the field. Crazy rear two-door up into 8th. As Marco almost out of the second range from Kaname, but due to the fact he's on mediums, they're all on softs, they're going to be catching. But what we want to see is whether or not Kaname can hang on for 1 lap. He's done it for 1. That was without DRS. This time it's a bit more difficult with DRS. He's sliding out of the final corner. The Williams will get more traction. You can see the Williams burning for dear life. DRS now in play, and he moves up. Whereas Kaname doesn't use DRS. No, not DRS, ERS. He's going to be saving up for the rest of the lap. Probably to go on a charge in the later stages of the lap, where the tyres are a bit more chewed up for the soft runner up ahead. But big question is whether or not he will still be in DRS range, as of course he's on the mediums. He's going to be slightly slower. Well, when I say slightly, about half a second slower than what the Williams is doing, but he's showing decent pace, going for personal best sector 1. But despite that, he's still half a second down and it's dropping. DRS now, he's got it. Is it going to be a move for the lead in literally the final 2 sectors? Crossfire's done the work to overtake at the start of the lap. Is Konami going to do the work to undo all of that in the final sector of the lap? You start in turn 1 where the Williams takes the lead. You finish in the final corner where Konami's gone to the outside and he's gone up into the lead. He will take home the win here in Saudi Arabia. It's been a great drive. He's played the strategy right. He gambled in the dying embers when the safety car came out. He will end up taking the win. Then it's Crossfire, Marco, DJ Death Dragon, Lex, Crazy Retudo, Mikal, Leo, and then I think that was Seth in P9. Boy oh boy, what a race. And it all went literally down to the finish line. As you could see, Marco and Crossfire pulling to the outside of Konami in an attempt to have a go at regaining the lead right on the line. As there is your race winner, Konami. He feels like Superman, probably because he done a super job. But yeah, it will be Alpine on the top step of the podium here today, with a Williams in second, and then a McLaren joining him on the podium here. Anyways, Konami wins, with Crossfire Strike second, Marco third, DJ Death Dragon fourth, Lex fifth, Crazy Rare Tudo in sixth, the Polish of Mikal being the second of the two Polish drivers in seventh, Leo eighth, Eunice ninth. Good finish for the Sauber after difficult race. Fastaff in 10th, Kartoff 11th, Ali A 12th, Cepho 13th, Ali Hader, Micromash, Rising Star, and Oggeeks all DNF. But anyways, I hope you'd enjoyed this, and I'll see you all later.